1 second. All right. Multitasking, canceling Uber Eats orders. Going live. Giving someone my my Disney Plus. It's a whole lot of stuff going over here right now. I'm like the guy in the chair. I'm like Ned right now, trying to navigate all this. All right. So welcome everybody to an all new episode of Marvel Cinematic Review. We are the MCR for the MCU. Before we get started into our thoughts on what if essentially Ultron succeeded, I want to give a huge shout out to Dakota, who has customized our New York Comic-Con 2021 shirts this year. The whole team's shirts look different. This will be the shirt that me, Joelle, and Tia and Kelly will be wearing. Jamie has her own shirt along with Brittany, Dakota, Joe, and Pete. So Dakota did an amazing job on everybody's design. So I wanted to wear this on here, show it off, because we'll be wearing it for the world in a week. In a week, we will be wearing it. So that is awesome. So I wanted to start with that, give Dakota a huge props. All right. Now, this episode. Goodness gracious. This was just, this, by the way, very loosely is indeed a what if story of Ultron actually succeeding. And I believe it is actually called What If the Age of Ultron. And it does go a little bit differently. He actually supplies himself with vibranium. That's what he suits himself up with instead of
adamantium.
Adamantium. I'm sorry, instead of vibranium. Sorry, you're right. You're absolutely right. I had it the other way. So that was an actual comic book. Clearly, there was not him fighting Uatu in it. That's why I said it's very loosely compared. But this was awesome. We got Jeremy Renner back to voice Clint. The same actress who voiced Natasha in episode 2 is who is back to voice her, obviously. Outside of that, obviously no one else was who they were. Oh, sorry, Zola. I believe Toby Jones, I think is his name. He was the voice of Zola in this, and then obviously Jeremy Renner. But outside of that, everybody else was drastic.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh yes, sorry, yes, yeah. Benedict at the end, which was hilarious. That credit scene worth all the money in the world. To where you have to humble a higher tier being to where it's just like no,
absolutely.
I want it. I want the apology. That's always the best feeling, is the higher ground of being petty, to where it's just like they feel their lowest, and then you're just like,
you still want it.
You can go lower. Give it to me. But no, let's start at the beginning. Obviously, we see that Ultron has fused with Vision to, as Jamie put it last week, become Vashon. Vashon. And clearly he has used the nuclear weapons to wipe everything out. And let me just say this. What If is either trying to tell us something, or they hate Tony Stark the way that Titans hates Bruce Wayne. Because they make sure to show that he dies in almost every single episode. So I don't know if that's their way of telling fans, hey, he's not coming back. Steve, maybe. Stark, done.
He dies in every universe.
Every universe.
I was like,
bro, we get it.
Every episode I sit down like having lunch, so I'm like trying to like quickly look down to eat food and then look back up and like, damn, did Tony just die again? Every while they're like, damn, Tony died again.
They will not stop killing Stark. And here's the thing, it's not just him dying. It's that they make sure that it's focused on just him dying. Like in this scene, it's literally all the Avengers done for. And of course, I do get it that since Stark created Ultron, it was more of a personal thing. I do get that. But it was just like, in your face, look, we murdered him. Gone. Enough out of him. And it's just like, geez, I don't know what Robert Downey Jr. did, but like say sorry. You know,
all that money. It's all that money. They're like,
That's an absolute point.
they're
now.
like,
goodness,
took too much from us.
Somebody in accounting is saying, wait a minute, we paid him way too much goddamn money. Like, we got to recoup some of it by just murdering him any chance we get. You know, we might not even get $1 value from it, but hey, let's just do it for fun. But Prime, I want to start off with you, man. What were your thoughts on this crazy episode 8 of What If?
It was crazy. Just like you said, it was absolutely crazy from the time that it came on. I've only got a chance to watch it once. Actually, I scrambled to go ahead and get it in before we did this. So I'm definitely gonna watch it again. Well, after I get done with all the other stuff later. But it was crazy from the beginning. Seeing Tasha and Clint just come out. They're battling all the the Ultrons or his robots or whatever. I love the action from the beginning on this. I love the Hawkeye, because I love seeing Hawkeye in this because we got a whole mixture, the whole arm situation, the haircut, you know what I'm saying? But still seeing him out there doing his thing. What else? I'm trying to remember, because like I said, I just scrambled to watch this before we got
No,
on.
I got you. Let me help you out. So I'm going to just guide you through the episode, and then you just tell me, you just jump in whenever you want. So obviously the beginning, like you said, us seeing Natasha and Clint, how they survived because they were in a Quinjet when the explosions went off all around.
That's how they survived, right?
Right. So that's how they survived. They're in Russia, of course. Natasha has to always go home. Clint is very much like he was in Endgame, where he has no hope of anything, and Natasha just won't let him let go. Like physically and mentally, just won't let this man. He's like, I just want to die. Like, I don't want to keep going. And she's just like, I need somebody to talk to. You will live. But we see them trying to figure out a way to take down the Ultron program. So they travel to, I can't remember where they travel to specifically, what the town or state or whatever it was. But they're looking for a file that can give them the access that they need to try to take down Ultron. And the Watcher is watching them go through and just skip the one thing that they need. And I love how, like, when Hawkeye's just like, you know what? I'm done. Okay, this is enough. And Uatu's just like, oh my God, bro, pick up the box. Like,
right there.
Pick it up. But I want to elaborate on that really quickly, because that to me was the funniest moment in the episode, not because of Uatu's reaction. It's because he's so used to no one hearing him. So when Ultron turns around and he goes, I'm sorry, you said what? And he's just like, no goddamn way he can hear me. And Ultron's like, you right there. And he's just like,
it's
oh,
like, I can see you.
He's just like, wait a minute, hold on, what? Like, he was not ready for that at all, because he's so used to just talking behind people's backs. Like, look, you stupid, you about to die, this universe sucks, and no one can hear him. So the one time someone can hear him outside of Strange Supreme, he's just like, oh, hell no. I don't know what's happening here, but I was not trained for this. I don't know what to do. So obviously they finally find it. Huge shouts out to the Easter egg of Natasha finding her adopted father's shield. Yeah, that was really awesome. And her actually keeping it.
I wouldn't have known what the heck that was about if I hadn't seen Black Widow. So hopefully people have seen Black Widow.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I noticed the color in the shield instantly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's small, but it is it's one of those things. So like I always tell people, like when you're watching Endgame and T'Challa says to Hawkeye, like I got it from here, Clint. Like to some people it's just like, okay, whatever. But to us, that means something, because the last time Clint tried to introduce himself, T'Challa was not having it.
I don't care.
I'm trying to get past you, so get out of my way. So it's just small things like that just pop up to we're like, oh, okay, cool. So obviously they find the Zola file. Now, Prime, this is what I wanted to pass it back to you for. This is something that's very important. Where they went to go find Zola is the same place Zemo led Cap and Stark in Civil War. So it got me thinking, Is it possible Zola is alive in the MCU and gave Zemo the video file? Like he retrieved it and because it's like that video file should not be easily accessible. It shouldn't really exist, right?
Mm-hmm. Right?
It had to have been someone that had that for him to then go get it. So maybe Zola was just like, yo, I've been trying to kill Cap for forever. What do you got planned? It's like, oh, I got something planned. So yeah, I wanted to pass to you, Prom, then you can continue. But do you think Zola maybe is still alive in the MCU and maybe him and Zemo have had interactions?
Anything is possible, man. Anything is possible.
As Kevin Garnett said.
Yeah, and this could actually lead to us seeing what is it, like the robot type Zola, you know what I'm saying? With the with his head down here and the rest of the body. I mean, we could actually get that now with everything else that we're seeing. So I think that's the first thing I thought when I saw that, but that's very possible. Couple of things that I did catch right away that I also loved about it. I know some people might not have caught, they weren't fans of the movie, but the whole the reference about she called him Skynet.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're talking talking about the Terminator. What was crazy to me, so we're automatically assuming, which is probably right, which when she's talking about, I've already seen the robot movie that doesn't need a sequel. Well, first of all, we know that the first one was made, in 89?
Yep.
No, so she saw the first one. Of course, she wasn't, on Earth for the second movie. You realize there was a second one.
She came back a few years after.
Came like 95, 96 or something.
95, 96, yep.
Yeah. But what I also thought about too, on a smaller scale, we know they were talking about the Terminator movie, right? Mm-hmm. But I also thought about how bad people talked about Age of Ultron, right?
One of them.
Yeah, and so you can kind of, on a smaller scale, think about that too. We've already seen that movie, so we don't need to see. We don't need to see that again either.
We don't need to see no more. Actually, that direct line needs to be sent to Thor: The Dark World director, who's talking about he wants to do his Snyder cut of that movie, and it's like, no, we got it. We don't need any more. That was enough. That was too much that you gave us already. We don't need anything else.
I thought that was interesting. I'm like, ooh. Oh.
Unless it's just more Darcy being Darcy, I have no interest in seeing anything else from what that movie specifically is doing. It's enough. Put that in the garbage.
I did like too, though. I remember seeing the thinking about how crazy it was and how precise and the precision of when Thanos enters and how easy he gets chopped down, and it's just like straight down the middle. Mm-hmm. It's just like it's nothing, And then he gets in there and he gets the stones from him. He's so precise with everything that he did. It's like, okay.
They just showed me how much. It showed me how much Vision was holding back all the time.
Well, no, not holding back. They powered down a lot of people in the MCU. Mm-hmm. And it's just because realistically, if they're that powerful all the time, it kind of just nullifies a lot. It's why the Eternals are fighting beings of their same caliber in the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Vision 100% was powered down, because you're not telling me that the Vision from the comics couldn't have ended Civil War in 5 minutes by himself. Just like, all right, enough out of you. Here's what. So to me, it's like they powered them down. And this is what will really let me know how much Feige powers down people. What Thor we get in Love and Thunder, because he should ascend to All-Father, to becoming as powerful as he is as All-Father, to allow Jane to be Thor. So if they don't do that and he doesn't ascend to that next level of power that he has, then for sure they're looking to kind of just mask everyone's power, which is fine. No arguments here. I get it. But yeah, Vision should be way more powerful in the MCU than he is. But the reason why I didn't look too much into him kind of just ripping through Thanos as quickly as he did, it caught Thanos off guard.
Right.
Thanos knew what Vision could do. So it was just kind of just like, Vision very quickly was just like, want what you got. Boom, dead. And Thanos was just like, I didn't even wait a minute.
Yeah, he wasn't ready. Yeah,
I didn't know we were starting. Like, I didn't even do nothing to you. Like, how did you know I wasn't friendly? But I did like how Vision gave him the up and down look to where he's just like, yep, I'm about to jack all your stuff, right?
Run them pockets.
Yeah, he
run that gauntlet.
Run them pockets. Yep. Run that gauntlet.
Marvel know what they're doing, man. They like to start a lot of talk and sometimes beef between people because, like you said, you mentioned, like he just mentioned on that, when people are already speculating now that, probably speculating on, wow, if it was that easy, why they didn't do that in the movie, with Vision. Indeed, and then later on, I remember the one part, I don't know if anybody else for a half a second thought about this, but for a half a second, I thought that they showed Galactus when he was eating that plastic. Then I hit the rewind. I said, "No, that ain't Galactus." Man, I was like,
it was definitely what they were trying to go for. They were going for that. They were definitely going for that.
They were going for that, but small difference is Galactus does not consume planets that way. He doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But it was supposed to let us know, like, hey,
we can do it.
On our mind.
Yeah.
Another reality, he might. I mean, you don't know.
But no, like in the comics, you don't see
so many realities in this. Like when they were passing through, you just never know. He might use a fork and a spoon. We don't know.
He might. Hey, he might. That's why Silver Surfer's always just like, you know what, you got it. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and just. I'm gonna leave. You go ahead and do your eating thing. But no, it was definitely there for a reason. Even more, there is an alternate universe out there where Steve Rogers is our president of the United States.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting. There's also a universe out there where apparently T'Challa and Killmonger were best of buddies and expanded Wakanda because that looked like New York. By Wakanda. Yeah. So it's a lot of really cool universes out there that exist. Ultron was just destroying Uatu. Which, by the way, Uatu, the fact that he's hiding that body underneath that cloak is just ridiculous. They got to stop doing that, okay? There can be normal sized bodies that can fight. Why is it always like people look chunky and then they take the cape off and they're just super buff? That's not realistic, okay? That's not realistic. It's why we all represented and loved when Thor went through that transformation. Okay, that's more realistic, okay?
Except for the braids. Except for the braids.
But the world doesn't generally look like Chris Evans. So it's like when Thor did that, we said, you know what, Thor? We appreciate you, okay? It's the small things, all right?
I mean, I miss the abs, but I'm like, you know what, Thor? Everybody has a rough patch, and you're working through yours. Just make sure you get them abs back, though.
From the photos of Love and Thunder, it looks like he did and then some. It looks like he found abs that he didn't know he had that he unlocked in this movie. So it was just like, damn it, Hemsworth, come on, man. You shaving.
No, but in closing for me though, I say the other two things that I caught and I enjoyed both of them was the quick Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. reference. I know there's not a lot of big Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans out there, but I did watch the show. I admit that I did like it, just like I liked Agent Carter. And shout out to the nod to the comic books with the way they were showing throughout the episode with the cosmic radiation, the little dots and all that kind of, shout out to Jack Kirby, one of the greatest of all times, my guy.
Yes, yep.
I'm a big Jack Kirby guy, so I caught that instantly. But overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. And as we all thought, or most of us thought, and we talked about in some of the earlier shows I was on, that we're pretty sure now that we want to see, some of the other heroes pull back. Now we're pretty sure that's what that meant at the end.
Yep. It was. Look, man. Sometimes you just got to get humbled, and Strange made sure that Uatu felt every piece of that emotion that he had to sit in that prism and feel. I do also think that we actually have I think they actually not spoiled, but I think they gave us a clue as to how they're going to stop Ultron. Each episode starts with the prism that Strange was in shattering and showing us multi-dimensions. I think you can't beat Ultron. You can only contain him. Quite like we saw Superman do with Zod. So I think they will find a way to trap him in the prism once they separate the stones from his body, and then just trap him in there so that his consciousness can't just travel throughout other dimensions or universes. So I think they kind of gave us the cheat code as to how they're going to stop Ultron, to which I enjoy. I didn't like how they killed Ultron in the movie, and I'm just like, the guy that can jump from body to computer to laptop to cell phone, you're just gonna destroy like that?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, he cut off his connection. Remember, he said you no longer can jump. He couldn't jump anymore.
I didn't like that. I'm like, come on, man. You get a good villain and you want to kill him? Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm thinking that's how they defeat Ultron. They trap him in that prison.
Well, one thing we know that's not going to happen, based on the fact of the conversation we were having at the beginning about them not introducing people or reintroducing people, because this was the closest thing we've had to the comic book to an extent, but we know we're not going to get Wolverine, and Wolverine was a huge part in the comic books, and we're not going to get Wolverine in the What If series. I'm pretty sure they're not going to. Well, we're not even there yet to even introduce him or reintroduce our new Wolverine yet. But
it would be interesting, though. It would be an interesting move because they have like Wolverine and the Midnight Suns and like the new Insomniac game too.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of talk about him, so that would be. I don't know. They wouldn't do it, but that would be cool.
Yes, it would.
Well, he's coming. We know that he's coming, and he should come alone. I don't want Wolverine part of the X-Men when they first reboot the X-Men. I want Wolverine to be his own thing. Wolverine can be his own thing. Storm, if you want, can be her own thing. Gambit can be his own thing. Rogue can be her own thing. To me, the X-Men should consist of Scott, Beast, Iceman, Jean, and I know I'm forgetting somebody. Prime. Who's the original?
Angel.
Angel, thank you, Angel.
Mm-hmm.
Angel.
I like him.
I think that should
that was the original. That was the original.
Yeah, I think that should be your original 5, and then you just add people on. And look, Feige, Fox messed this up. Don't skip out on Jubilee. We love Jubilee. I don't know what Fox had against Jubilee. We like her. Put her in the movies. But all right. So Jamie, I'm gonna pass it over to you. You created the persona of Vashon. I think you personally created this Ultron vision. You know what I'm saying? I think you were the Tony Stark of this universe. So walk me through how you doomed all of us by creating Vashon.
Well, I do have to say that Vashon was actually concepted not by me, by somebody else during WandaVision when Vision was like, he had that like turtleneck and he was standing like like I don't know, and people Photoshop like the do-rag and like the gold chain.
I will say this though, Jamie, you're pulling a Bruce Banner. Remember when after Ultron attacked the Avengers at the tower and they got back to the lab and everyone was looking at Tony and Tony was just like, Bruce, like, help me. And Bruce was just like, I don't know what Tony did. I just pushed the button. So Jamie's sitting here going, I didn't create it. I just said it on an episode. But
I listen, because I'm not trying to have people be like, she never created that. What the heck are you talking about? Oh my god! I'm like, I that's what you want. I didn't say that. But I really enjoyed this episode. It's been. I don't think I've enjoyed an episode this much since probably the first episode, to be honest with you. Not that I haven't liked the other episodes, but I haven't enjoyed an episode this much like the first except for the first episode. So I really enjoyed it. I liked the whole like I got like a Mad Max vibe from Natasha just riding around on her bike in the desert. That was cool. And then to see like her and Hawkeye take out the drones, I thought that was cool. Let's see. I'm trying to go in order here. What else? What happened next?
Go as you remember it.
Oh gosh. It's just going to be a mess then. The next thing I thought about, though, was the fact that Hawkeye made the sacrifice this time instead of Natasha. And low key, at first, I was like, it just kind of seemed like he was like, well, all right, see you later. And I'm like, what the hell? But then I'm like, oh, okay. Like after it played out for a bit, I'm like, oh, okay, I see. I see what's happening there.
But technically, this is the second time Hawkeye has just said, you know what? I'm gonna just die. Like I'm gonna just die. It don't even matter no more. Who cares? Let me just go. And like Nat had to be the one in Endgame that's just like, bro, if this works, you'll get your family back. Like I don't have any kids or a husband to go back to. Like you got something to go back to. And Clint was just like, nope, I'm gonna kill myself. It's just like, wait, what? Like, what is wrong with you? So now it's like, hey, Clint, we have a chance to save everything. And he's just like, nope, I want to die. Nope, just want to get out of here. And it's like, why are you so selfish? Like, what is wrong with you? He's just like, I don't want to hear it. Dead, gone, don't care. But at least they gave him a better shot than they gave Natasha. Natasha was just a splat. Clint went out like a real G.
He went out like a
he went out like a G. Like that could be like one of those portraits that you put in like.
I was thinking like, oh, this is a good poster moment right here.
Yeah, that was a poster, and Natasha was just like, like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, not yeah. She. We're not going to talk about it. Anyway, I also liked when they were going through the files, looking for Zola's file. I thought it was funny the way that the Watcher was like, oh my God, it's right there. Because I feel like that's like pretty much everybody watching like some kind of show or movie where they're just like so invested into it and they're like trying to tell the character like, look, he's right behind you. He is right behind. Listen to me right now. And like that's totally what the Watcher's doing right now. So I can 100% relate to that. That was great. And then also oh, what else? Oh, freaking at the beginning when Ultron sliced Thanos in half, I just started laughing because I'm like, wow, he just did it. He just did it and he was done. I'm like, wow.
A moment.
Like, that was crazy.
I was like,
he legit was just like,
he didn't even get to say like, hey, my name's Thanos. No, nothing. He's like, ooh, Infinity Stones.
He's like, ooh, this similar to mine.
And then destroy the gauntlet. He just said, you know what? I could put this in my chest. I don't need jewelry. Like, I don't need the glove. I just put it in my chest. It's just like, damn. Nothing of him could like survive. Nothing. Not even the glove. Like, nope. Run them pockets. Give me them. Yeah.
I did kind of expect zombie Thanos to walk out for a second there. So I don't know if he could be in the next episode, but I don't know how that would work with the dynamic. I don't know what they would do with him. But what
was in Wakanda, right?
He
was Wakanda at the end of the episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
If they continue any of these, I guess we'll see. I don't know. Like,
look, there's inconsistency.
Honestly.
The last episode ended with Uatu seeing Ultron for the first time,
being surprised,
and then narrating a story full of Ultron. So maybe I'll cut him some bail. Maybe he was surprised, and then when he found out about him, he went to that universe to narrate how Ultron became. Maybe, I don't know, but again, it's an inconsistency that they don't rope off.
Yeah, wait. They talked about beforehand that they thought there was a rumor that a couple of these episodes could have been out of order anyway.
It was.
Because at least one of them, I believe, got pushed back to.
Yes, it was a Tony Stark one. Tony Stark one. Yep. Yep. You're absolutely right. So
next year.
That could be the case because there was a huge inconsistency in this. Thanos had all the stones but one, meaning he had the Soul Stone, right?
Right, yeah.
Now, in the same universe, they showed the Guardians with Gamora. Who did he sacrifice?
Yeah.
Who did he sacrifice? There was no one else he loved as much as he loved Gamora.
But what now? When you said out of order, like where, like could this even have gone before last episode?
Here's the thing.
It still wouldn't even make sense still. Until
they dropped the trailer where we saw them all together, a lot of us did think that this was just going to be episodes that just happen. Like they don't necessarily connect. And technically they don't until next week where they all come together. So it literally, there is no order of how these episodes were supposed to.
You gotta jump in here, you gotta go here to get this.
Right. Having a multiverse means I don't have to have a logical start, middle, and end. But it's why I tell you guys, this is the time in comics where I was most frustrated, where it was just like, don't worry about that. We just jump over here, and now this doesn't exist. And it's like, no, make it stick. So that's how I guess they're able to get away with some of these inconsistencies.
That's what makes it interesting. That's what makes it interesting too, because especially in the early days, like in the late 70s and 80s, and then when they continued the issue, they were all one-offs. Right. They were just one-offs. There was no, grouping and anything at the end. They were just one-offs, period.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely right. So with this, it's more so just like we kind of bend it to our will. Simple as that. I do think the writers probably had the philosophy of no one's going to look that deep into it. No one's going to care. And it's just like, no.
MCU fans will.
I'm like, I care. I care that Thanos is in Wakanda with no stone. There's no one there. And he's just chilling there like, yeah, you're coming to me. How did you know that? like I don't understand. In the movie, you only knew to go there because you sent your army there because Vision was there with the stone. Now there's nothing there, and you're just showing up just like, I always wanted to check out Wakanda, man. I always heard about it, Never really got a chance to just get a quick vacation. Just like, it makes no sense. Yeah, never got no time off, It took me being a zombie to finally get some free time. So, book a trip. But we do have here from Mr. E. 1 second. Let me see. I want to read what he said because he was saying along the same lines. Joe is asking, he's watching now, how did Clint lose his arm? They never specify how Clint lost his arm. It's just Clint lost his arm. Unless I'm missing something. So someone please jump in if I'm missing something.
No, that arm, I was thinking that arm is probably more Stark tech, I would think, than Wakandan tech.
Right.
Because it's not just like a perfect arm or anything. It's like just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right.
Came off pretty easily too.
This says he'll give the episode an 8 out of 10, but the more critical side of him wants to give it a lower rating due to, I won't call it a story ending plot hole, but more of a weird choice. Elaborate a little bit more on that, Miss Ear. Are you talking about the ending with Strange Supreme, or the ending right before that? Just so I'm clear.
Okay, I do have a quick question about that. Was that so the scene with Strange Supreme, was that supposed to be like a after credits kind of thing, or was that a part of the episode? Because I think it was like, damn, what should I do? And then it went to black. I'm like, damn, did they just end the episode right there? And then we got to see the other scenes. So I'm like, was that a part of it, or is it
technically mid-credit? It would technically be a post credit. No.
Mid-credit.
Mid-credit. Mid-credit scene. But I do love that he ran off there because it was the only place Ultron couldn't see him. He ran off there and he almost was sitting crisscross applesauce, just like, I don't know what just happened. And Supreme's just like, I do. I saw you got your ass whooped. We got TV in here. I saw it. I didn't miss it. I saw all of it. I got it right here. But no, I mean, look, it was a really good chance for a lot of people who are not familiar with Uatu to see how strong he is.
I was kind of taken aback when Ultron was like, hey, I can hear you, and he's like, what? And then he shows up and Uatu seems scared. I'm like, he's scared of Ultron? Well, I guess was more surprised than scared, but it kind of turned into being scared towards the end.
Because nobody ever came in there before, I don't believe. So
it was fear. It was 100%.
It was probably a combination of one, that he was a little scared, but two, that he realized what was about to go down. And he had already sworn that oath that he was never going to get involved, and he knew ain't no way around this. This is about to go down, bro.
I'm just like, I kind of expected, I don't know. I felt like Uatu should have been able to handle it, but I'm kind of glad it didn't work out that way because it wouldn't have been as interesting.
Well, nothing like that has ever happened. That's not supposed to happen. That's why he was caught off guard. So it was just like,
see, the only thing from I hate that I wish I didn't see I guess Loki before this. Because them having those stones just in the drawer or whatever for me, like making them so like insignificant. I was like, why do they even matter so much to watch?
That's a good
like,
point.
That was a thing for me. That's what made me think. I was like, why are they?
Yeah, because he left his universe, so why would they still work?
Yeah, I thought about that.
Well, remember, the stones only didn't work in the TVA because the TVA exists outside of time and space.
Well, shit, in the Watcher, that's what I'm saying. That's like I was like, isn't he just as?
Oh no! I'm sorry. Okay, I apologize. Let me clarify that.
Okay.
If you're a Nexus being, you can travel dimensionally, and nothing truly applies to you because you are so powerful that you transcend dimensions and their laws. The only reason why that doesn't work in the TVA is because it's well outside of time and space. So it's outside of the void to where you can just freely travel to it. So it kind of exists in its own kind of world, really.
Yeah.
But where Uatu is literally there, just in a prism outside of it. So a lot of times where it looks like he's literally just like staring at you right behind your back, it's like in a prism. So like his face is there, but he's not really there. So that is just a dimension that he's in. So people can travel through. It's just right now in the MCU, Wanda, Loki, and Sylvie together, not separate, but together. And He Who Remains and Strange to a degree are really your 5 Nexus beings in the MCU right now that could travel through dimensions, free of the laws that restrict you. So that's how Ultron was kind of just like, I know I hear something. I know I ain't going crazy. Like you ever have that moment where like someone's talking, you're like, yo, shut up. Shh. You hear that? Like that's what he went through. He's like, wait, you hear that? No, I know I hear that. And then he turns around, he's like, oh, I see the big ass head. Like Uatu kind of stepped back, just like,
he closed it. He was like,
I saw you.
Shut this screen off.
Like, hold on, no, I saw you now.
Oh, that was hilarious. And then I really like their fight. It kind of reminded me of like fighting games where like you'll pass through to a different stage. He was like taking them through all the stages, like boom, boom, boom. Like dang, he is like whooping his ass right now.
About the headbutt.
That was great.
No, but it definitely was. Uatu definitely had that moment of, you ever stare at somebody? It's like either they look familiar or they got something going on. Like you're just staring a hole through them, right? And then all of a sudden they just turn around and meet your eyes. You're just like, oh, sorry. Like I wasn't looking, my bad. And he's like, no, I see you staring at me. What do you want? That was exactly what Uatu, and he thought doing this would wipe it away. And Ultron said, I'm finding you. And that was hilarious. Like that interaction alone, no fighting, just the whole, no way in hell he saw me. Just do that. And it's like, no, I saw you. And then when he burst through, Wasu's just like, oh hell no. Like what this? Like you can do that? And he's just like, I don't know, apparently. I'm here now. So
he's like, hey, you don't have to do this, bro.
Yeah,
like, do this.
Come on, man. Like I love how Ultron burst through, and again, he was not for the conversation. He immediately was just like laying the smackdown, and it's like, dog, can you talk for a second? Like, what if I'm not the enemy?
And
Ultron said, "Not everybody that breathes gets hands." It's just like, damn, Ultron.
He was so good at using the stones too. It's like he knew them so well. Like the way he used them was just masterful. Like, like, oh god, man, this is so. And
terrifying. There were 2 things about his Conquer trip that I thought was hilarious. The first one was he knew from the rip, I got to take care of Asgard first. I know what Odin can do. I better just catch him while he's sleeping. Like, that's legit what he did. He was just like, I'm going to catch him while he's sleeping. Just get rid of that. And then it was a matter of, and then I thought what was funny was the planet he went to where the Guardians were fighting. They posed no threat. Why was that just like a step you had to make? Like, He's like, no, I personally have to go here. I don't like
It's
snot.
fine. I mean, it's fine seeing Peter Quill get killed. I was happy about that. Well, yes, Peter Quill.
And
Bye.
I am curious. Ego died rather quickly.
Yeah.
I understand Ego dying because the stone should be as powerful, if not maybe slightly a little bit more than Ego as a celestial being. But how quickly he died. Maybe it just caught him off guard, maybe. But to me, Ego the Living Planet should not have died that quickly. It didn't even look like he put up a fight. It was just like Ultron went up, bowed, done, and it just flew off. And it was just like, damn, it was that easy? It was that easy. But Trayvon, what were your thoughts on this crazy episode?
Well, I loved it so much. This, like Jamie said, I love the first episode a lot, and the other ones have been cool. I was okay, this is fun, you know. Some of the episodes I didn't like really. I was okay, but then we got here. This was amazing to me. Like, just I love seeing Natasha and Clint, you know, just I mean, kicking ass. Like, it was just great in the beginning. Like, it was just fun to see them doing that. And he had so many trick arrows. It was just fun. I was like, oh, which one he gonna pull out next? Like, what does this one do? Like, it was just fun. And you know, just seeing her pull out the batons. It was just fun. Like, it was just a fun opening. And you know, them Watu just I don't know, like became I love him now. Like, it was always in the background, just staring and stuff like that. Now he got involved. I'm really excited. I wanted to see what he can actually do. Like, I knew, you know, you were telling me, you know, how powerful he is and everything. I was like, I want to see it. I want to see like somebody get in there and do something to him. So I was excited to see that happen. You know, like, because when Doctor Strange, and in his episode, he could hear him, or he, you know, and that kind of freaked him out a little bit. He was like, wait. I said, what's that? Like, I love that. I'm like, yes, get to him. Yes, get to him. Yes. I'm tired of him being back there, just chilling, talking all this shit. Like, get to him, please. Finally, somebody got to him. So, the I know I'm jumping around a lot, but the Thanos thing, that was great. It's like, who's like, oh, I like those things on your hand. I want them. This is great. I was like, this is awesome. Yes, get rid of him. Yes, take the stones. And then the way he used them was just like, just no games. Just like, let's go. I'm not here to talk to anybody. I'm not gonna come down to the planet, say hi, none of that. Boom, you just gone. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm getting rid of every place, everywhere I think is a problem.
He did a planet drive-by. He did a
planet. He
just rolled down the window and was just letting that thing off, man. He didn't even care.
I mean, yeah, I was like, this is crazy. And I loved when Captain Marvel showed up. Maybe it didn't make sense for her to be there, but hey, it still was cool.
No. Let me be very specific. It's not that it didn't make sense for her to be there. It was just I was expecting Nova. That's it. If it was a different planet and she just happened to be there, no problem. I
admit when I first saw when you first see the energy or whatever, that's what I thought it would be. But I was like, this is MCU. I don't have no faith in them doing any new characters on any of these TV shows, and that includes the live action TV shows. They're not gonna do anything to introduce anybody new. So I was like, it's got to be somebody else that we've seen already. And I was like, then we see as Captain Marvel. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, she was trying her best, man. She was working hard she could, man.
Here's the thing. Here's what I want to give Captain Marvel a lot of credit for. Because remember, if she was fighting him with 1 stone, 2 stones, maybe even 3 stones, she could still give the business. It was just the fact, not only did Ultron have all the stones, he became fully in tune with the stone. So there was nothing that he couldn't conjure. Like Thanos, it was a learning curve. So it was like, okay, this is what you do.
This stuff was permanent. Like, whatever
with Ultron, once the stones locked into his body, he knew how to use those things. Like, he had these stones for years. So that's the only reason I think he was able to overpower her. It was just that he had full access to all the stones' power.
I think I don't, John, you might have said this last week. I think about, you know, if he snaps, it's not gonna hurt him. He's not human. He's a robot, whatever. So for me, it's almost like he was just constantly snapping. to me, like by using like that's literally what he was doing. I was like, so none of this affects him. He just going like full power every time, boom, 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 boom. Oh, this is like honestly, what can you do about this? Like
Nothing.
I was like, this is
Nothing.
crazy. And then when he fought Uatu, I was like, okay, maybe Uatu can, I don't know, take some stones out. I don't know, something. But I was like, he can't do anything either. I said, what the hell are they gonna do? like this is done. Y'all are done. Like
I think it's just because again with Uatu, again, if it was 2 stones, 3 stones, maybe, yes, for sure. But the fact that he became fully like bonded with the stones and there was no limit to the power that he could exude, there's just nothing anyone can do. You know what I'm saying?
I immediately rewatched this. I watched it once, immediately started over. I said, this is amazing. I'm definitely watching this again right now. And that's what I did. I was like, this is great. Like, I'm really excited for next. Like, I love all the fighting. I love the exuding all their energy and stuff. I just love all that. Like, so seeing Watu like power up, do his power up mode or whatever. I mean,
which that suit,
I love Power Ranger stuff and all
accurate.
that. I was like,
that suit, by the way, is accurate. He did look like that in the comics, with that golden armor. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I remember telling you guys I didn't think Uatu would get that involved, but technically he wasn't getting involved. He was just defending himself. Like he was completely okay watching Ultron just destroy everything. It wasn't until Ultron ran up on his block that he said, "Oh, this is real now." Like
once Ultron found out there's a multiverse, he was like, "Oh shit, okay."
Yeah, Ultron kicked down his door and he said, "Whoa, I didn't think it would make it to my side of the neighborhood. I thought it was just over there." So when it got really
interesting, though, that's gonna be interesting next episode to see if he ends up having to throw hands again, or they just assemble everybody and he stepped back, again. This is going to be interesting.
I tell you what, if I'm Strange Supreme and I just watch him get his ass whooped, but he was fighting and he talking about, assemble the team and, I'll be back here. No, I'll go right back into that prism. I don't think so. You better come out here and help us win this battle.
I need another Captain Marvel to come in. I need to go get another one. I need another one.
We might. It could be a Captain Marvel. Look, it could be the Captain Marvel from the Thor universe. It could be the Captain Marvel from the Thor universe.
I think she's coming back.
Yeah. I mean, you need your nuclear deterrent. You need somebody that can at least go hand to hand with Ultron long enough to maybe get a plan in motion or something. So I'm like, I could see it last minute. All hope is lost. She comes in, gives them enough time to put their plan into motion. I could 100% see that. But I'm with you, man. Like I said, I love Captain Marvel. It was not who I was expecting.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
That's all it was. But I love me some Captain Marvel for sure.
And the Galactus thing, because that's definitely what that was. I was like, oh, okay. Like I didn't know why he would do that. Technically, I was like, why do that? But sure, why not? Like you were already fighting him, you already beating him. Like why do the big giant head thing? But it was still cool to see. Let me see.
I actually thought that was interesting because think about it. We only usually see Uatu as a big head, right? As a big head looming in the background. So I kind of felt like that was Ultron's way of going, oh, you think only you can do this? Okay, watch. Let me distort your reality by just zooming my head in there. And it's like, okay, interesting. Pretty interesting. What else stood out to you?
I love Doctor Strange. Like, yeah, you gonna tell me, yeah, you gonna beg for me, like, like beg for me to help you. Yes, I need that.
Yep, hands and knees. Yeah. You gonna go through the full thing. Let me hear it all.
So, I guess that's. Pretty much it. I'm trying to remember. Did we see what happened to Natasha? Like, was she?
Well, she's gonna be in it. She's gonna be in the next because she was part of the circle. So she's gonna be in it. So we know she didn't die.
She's really surviving that, ain't she?
Apparently. Apparently, as long as she's not around cliffs, she's good. She can make it.
Or Clint. No Clints or cliffs.
Yeah, no Clints or cliffs. Clints or cliffs, and she can survive anything. Apparently, she jumped out of she jumped out of space and somehow landed on the ground. It was just like, you have no powers. You should have died halfway through that.
Oh yeah, that reminds me at the beginning. I think it was Clint. He fell off of a cliff or something, and he was like slid, and I thought he was gonna die. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
damn, he's about to be
love how
dead.
she
But
was
she was watching him.
Like,
Yeah, she was watching him like,
crazy, Clint. Like, she didn't even try to go faster. She was just like, nah, I'm gonna stay at 40. That's crazy though. Like, he falling. Yeah, Clint was just like, nothing, Natasha. She was like, I ain't got nothing for you.
Like, I
Sure
feel
they
like in
did.
another universe, you did the same. So
Yeah. I feel like in
Returning the
another-
hold
favor.
on now, hold on.
He didn't go all
He
out
did
for
not. Come on now. He tried to stop her now.
But we do got some fan responses, so let's go through some of these. Mr. He's responding to what I said earlier. He's saying, you talked about it with Thanos. Thanos at no point during this time had any of the stones to my knowledge. So how did he get them? Thanos destroyed Xandar to get one of them, but it was still intact. Yes, another plot hole. I 100% agree with you. Yes.
True.
Again, yes.
Very true.
When Ultron attacked, Time Stone is questionable as well. Plus Gamora. So, yep, we were just talking about that. Yep. Again, a lot of inconsistencies. Joe's saying, Joe's pointing out what we were just talking about how the stones can exist outside of their main universe.
Mm-hmm.
Joe's pointing out that Ross, the guy who voiced Red Skull, because Hugo Weaving didn't want to come back. He was the one who voiced Ultron, but Joe's saying he definitely missed James Spader. There was just no way. There was no way you're paying James Spader $100 million for 2 episodes. There was just no way that was ever going to happen.
That's the voice right there. That's the voice.
Yeah, no one was writing that check. No one was writing that check. Joe says, I'm sure Jamie loved Hawkeye dying for Black Widow this time around. I mean, Jamie has had a smile on her face since we came on air, knowing that poor Hawkeye had to die.
Okay, so here's the thing. I have to say this every time. I do not dislike Hawkeye. I just felt very like Natasha was wronged in a lot of ways. Didn't get a freaking funeral, it just did not feel right. And Hawkeye is not the most likable Avenger, so that just adds to it, in my opinion. Some other people might enjoy him a lot. So
technically
that's why
have a body, by the way, but I'm just gonna.
Well, also we do have to remember Natasha did have a funeral, just not an on-screen one.
Yeah,
she did have a funeral. I mean, she had a whole stone, the whole gravestone.
I mean, just because she had that doesn't mean she had a funeral. Her sister might have just been like, let me buy you a gravestone.
They had
let me buy you a gravestone, put it in the ground.
You know what? Let me say this, and I'm gonna go right to you, Prime. Let me say this. I can guarantee you the entire Avengers squad, the entire MCU, didn't go, but I'm sure there was some kind of funeral. Yeah, I'm sure there was something. Yeah,
you know what? If Hawkeye would have went to the funeral, then he could have met Yelena and been like, I'm so sorry this happened to your sister. But now since he didn't, Yelena's gonna go kill him.
Yelena's not
consequences.
She's not gonna
consequences.
Stop trying to get Black Widow a partner in the afterlife, okay? Hawkeye is going to live. All right, she made her sacrifice.
Still has his kids. Oh my gosh!
Listen, nothing. I'm just saying it's karma. It's karma. Okay, it's gonna come back around.
What did he do?
He didn't do anything wrong. Stop.
He hurt my feelings. That's what he did. He hurt my feelings.
Blame Thanos.
Wait, Prime. I'm gonna go to you, but you know what? No one ever defends Hawkeye with the fact that he tried to kill himself and she wouldn't let him. It wasn't like Black Widow was just like, I'm gonna kill myself, and he was just like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Or he pushed her off. He tried to sacrifice himself, and she said, no.
I'm not saying that he didn't try to do the right thing. That at the end of the day, I didn't get 4 when I added 2 plus 2. I got sad face. So
y'all Natasha fans are ridiculous.
Listen,
Brian,
I love her too.
What were you gonna say?
I was just thinking, did and I know you've probably read it, the whole situation with Hawkeye and that arm, did that even give you some DC vibes in there with Green Arrow a little bit?
Yes.
Remember when he got his arm broken off?
Yep.
And was it Dark Knight? I kind of thought about that.
But to be fair, remember Green Arrow said, you know what? I'm gonna just one-arm it. He didn't even go get like a mechanical arm. He was biting the bow releasing arrows. Like Hawkeye was just like, "What? That's stupid. I'll just go get an arm." Like, why wouldn't you just go get an arm? And Green Arrow was just like, you know what? I am the richest person in DC. I never thought of that. Yeah, okay. All right.
You guys think at some point during the series that we're going to end up seeing it in one arm Hawkeye?
Did he have one arm in the wait? Oh no, yeah, that is the trailer for the series. I don't know why I was thinking it was a movie.
I mean, at some point, before it goes, I like to see some of that stuff. That whole cloak thing at the beginning, the cloak of invisibility. Cool. I like to see all of that, in the series whenever it hits.
That was cool.
Oh wait, in the real Hawkeye series?
Yeah.
Oh wait, you saying you think Hawkeye might lose his arm in the?
I just wonder, y'all think it's gonna happen?
Oh no, I think
this was just a death thing. That's all.
Yeah, I think this was just like a Savage Land kind of.
I mean, we know it can be a Hawkeye series, but eventually, whether it's during the first season or if there's a second season, he's probably not going to be the Hawkeye. I mean, so.
I just want to say this. We've already gotten from one person, just kill Hawkeye. We've gotten from another person, let him lose an arm. Y'all just won't let this man.
I'm a fan though. I can't speak for Jamie. I can't speak for Jamie and Tia. And look, I like Hawkeye.
Me too.
Comic book to screen. I love him all. I ain't got a problem with the dude. I just wonder.
I'm just saying, before this episode's over, in a perfect world, y'all will have Hawkeye's head just in a glass, but he can't even talk. It's just in a glass. That's it. He just sitting.
Clint, I got your back, dog. I got you.
I'm like, goodness, I'm here for you.
Listen, this Hawkeye series, it could make me a believer. I feel like he hasn't really got a lot of characterization, so this will be a good chance for them to convert. Well, I won't say convert. It'll be a good chance for me to become a Hawkeye fan.
I can't wait till we get to that.
I don't know how y'all are just not Hawkeye fans. I don't understand.
It's because he's like, what do we know about him other than he's a father? He has kids. He's got a wife.
What about Natasha into her movie? We didn't know anything about her past.
Yeah, see, but she was cool.
I'm gonna read what fans are saying.
She was cool.
Okay. Mr. E says Nova would have been better, but yeah, they should hold off for now. Tired of waiting. Mr. E, I've been tired of waiting. Since the rumor came out that what's his name? Oh, crap, I'm completely whiffing on his name. But no, they had a fan cast for Nova years ago.
I think I remember.
Zac Efron, that's who it was. Zac Efron. Who they said would be a really cool Nova. I kind of prefer Nova to be Hispanic. I would like Nova to be Hispanic. Not Richard Rider, but the newer Nova. Let's see. Imagine Ultron knew it was just as simple as a snap. Episode 5 would have been 5 minutes. But that's the thing, Joe. The snap was only done because that was too much power. So that was really all you could conjure is a snap. Ultron did the equivalent of a snap with everything else he did. When he went planet to planet and just literally hit a button and it exploded, I think that was the equivalent of his.
He made all the little what do they call them, drones,
right? And also remember, Joe, Ultron, the difference is Thanos just wanted half of humanity gone, right? Ultron wanted all humanity gone, so he wanted to assure there was not a crumb left. So he wanted to go to each and every planet and just go, all right, I blew up the whole planet. There's no way anyone survived that. You know what I'm saying? So he wanted to personally ruin everybody's day. Let's see. The moment in Endgame needed to hit emotionally. Hawkeye dying there doesn't hit most fans as hard as Black Widow dying in that moment. True. And also because Josh Whedon decided to go the weirdest route, introducing Hawkeye. With the first time we see him, you turn him. And then the second time we see him, you give us the whole family background and whatnot in the weirdest moment of the movie. To me, it was just like, you guys have not done Hawkeye justice. And I hope this series truly gives him the justice he deserves. Mr. E says, is it wrong to say I didn't feel anything when Black Widow died? No. I mean, I would say you should have felt something. I mean, she gave her life so that the MCU could continue. So I think you should feel maybe a little bit
from the beginning.
Man, she had one of the most badass entrances into of all the Avengers, man. That being tied to a chair, it's still one of my favorite scenes. Like probably one of my, if I pick my top 10 favorite scenes throughout the MCU, her introduction is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
he's giving me everything.
Yeah,
I didn't give her nothing.
100%.
I didn't give her nothing.
So
great. So great.
All in the game says not at all, but I'd bet money that majority of the MCU fandom cares more about Black Widow than Hawkeye. Yeah, that's evident. That's evident. But I'd also say they've given Black Widow a lot more character development.
Yeah.
Than they've given Hawkeye.
Mm.
So yeah, I could 100% understand. 100%. Thanos could have done the same thing with the snap. He just didn't want to. No, I don't think so. The snap is never really explained. However, it's assumed it's the thought right before it. Yes, it is the thought right before it. It was explained. They explained it to Bruce. Not explained it to Bruce. They explained it right before Bruce snapped. Like you have to think of exactly where they were. You can't think of anything else outside of the people. It's essentially what the Dragon Balls are. Like Shinron has a limit to what he can do. Like you can't just ask for anything. There's rules to it. So they explained the rules right before he snapped of like, you got to imagine them right where they were. You know what I'm saying? You can't imagine them a day before, a day after. It has to be exactly to the point where everyone disappeared. So there were rules to it for sure. But I really do think Thanos' snap was more so because it's a lot of power to consume. And it's like, because think about it, when Hulk was doing it, the snap was really all he could do. I don't think he could have clapped his hands or wait. Like it's a lot that it's weighing you down. So I don't know. I think for Ultron, he put it in his chest. So a snap was never something he was interested in. Like
I would be interested to see what maneuver he would try and do. Just like,
I mean, essentially, with it being part of his body, he could have blinked, coughed. He could have done any of it.
Oh no, he catches a cold. Everybody watch out.
I mean, that would only make his job easier. He coughs and he's just like, wait, a planet I didn't even know existed just disappeared. Perfect. I didn't even know that existed. Great. All right, let's see what else anyone else got before we head out of here. Let's see. Right, but Thanos never wanted full extension of life, but if he did, it would have been achieved. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, because we saw that with Stark, where Stark just conjured, I only want Thanos and his army to disappear. Which, by the way, is one of the biggest plot holes in the MCU. Right? Here's why. Here's why that was a big plot hole.
Gamora.
Mm-hmm. She didn't disappear. Mm-hmm. But it's like Tony had only heard of Gamora, right? Mm-hmm. He had never seen her. So it's like, how did that apply to where it was just like everyone disappears but Gamora? And it's just like, no, there's no way Stark said that. So it's like, I guess the Stones were just like, no, I don't think Stark wants her gone.
Maybe Thanos and whoever is his, I don't know, whoever like agrees with him or something. I don't know. Like maybe
he must have gotten real ass specific. Like that must have been the most specific those gems have ever had to encounter. So we're just like, damn, that's specific as hell. Like picture Stark named each individual he wanted to disappear. And so it's just like, damn, okay. All right, yeah, sure, we'll do it.
It's like the lottery, man. You go find that lottery ticket. He just
that's what it was. Because I'm like, when I saw everyone disappearing, I'm like, well, we know Nebula wouldn't disappear, or they wouldn't show it because she died. So it was just like, well, whatever, no one cares. She died. But Gamora was just like, she's still there. I don't know how, but all right, okay.
Well, we didn't see her anymore, right? They said they were.
Well, no. Remember, she's partially the plot of this next one because it's them trying to find her. Yeah. So we know she still is alive for sure. She didn't disappear. I don't know where the hell she went to, but
right.
That's for Quill
and how did she get away? Like
she was hanging out with the Watcher.
What ship did you get on? Like where'd you go?
I don't even look. There are so many questions, Javon. She literally just said ship, boom, ship gone. It's just like, what ship was left?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. But let's see if no one else has anything else. Mr. E says my prediction for the next episode, prediction 1, the living tribunal intervenes. That's a huge ask. Prediction 2, Strange kills
Not a
Ultron
new
but
character,
dies in the
technically.
process. Prediction 3, like you said, Ultron is imprisoned.
How would my question is, how do you open the prism that Strange is in and then close it back? Because it was like he
I
just
think he just destroyed it.
contracted. Oh,
I think once they leave, I think Uatu probably just destroys it, or it's still just void, and you can kind of just teleport someone. Not teleport.
Yeah.
But you can kind of just
Watu jumped inside of it, so
transport someone.
maybe you can pull somebody inside of it and get out.
Right,
Maybe.
right. So maybe that's how they can do it, or maybe they just create an all new one. Maybe they
Strange
created
is stuck in there. He didn't get out yet. So
right.
Like,
Living Tribunal, that's a tall order. I think Living Tribunal is something we'll see in the MCU. We're getting Celestials. So, I mean, there's no way we won't get the Living Tribunal at some point. So, I don't think so. I think that's too early. But again, you know what, Mystery? If you had asked me 2 years ago, I would have said Uatu is too early. And we got Uatu. And we've even seen him use his abilities. So, let me just say, I don't think the Living Tribunal will be in the next episode. But I will happily come and apologize to you if he shows up. Happily.
What if the Eternals show up? They're not new, technically, right? They're not new.
It depends what they mean by it depends what they mean by new. Because does Feige want to just wait until we find out more about them in the movie, to where he fully establishes them? Because I wholeheartedly believe we'll see them next year for the new season of What If. They'll be in the next season. But I think he kind of wants to establish them first before someone gets their hands on characters that technically somebody else had just crafted first. So I think
and when you watch too, something we got to think about. We're seeing him in this What If series, right? Mm-hmm. But realistically, I know a lot of people didn't know who he was before this series, but he didn't just exist in What If comics either. Right. He were in just regular storylines. The Dark Phoenix saga, the real comic book, one of the greatest ever.
Right.
So he's he exists outside of What If.
Right. The last, not Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the Avengers show, the Avengers cartoon after that, they were fighting Thanos on the moon, and it was apparently Uatu had like a station out on the moon. And he was just standing there. I remember Iron Man was just like, "Yo, you're gonna help me?" He's just like, "I can't." And it's just like, why? Why are you here then? Like, go away. Like, you're not gonna help me. Go, leave.
It's like, actually, y'all came to my moon station.
Yeah,
so y'all can go.
My house. Yeah, take it somewhere else. No, I got my popcorn ready. So yeah, this last one should be a fun one. Look. We've been saying this for a while. There are 10 people we can blame for breaking the multiverse, right? There's easily 10 people we could blame. But maybe what truly breaks it is the events of this. Because we don't know timeline-wise where this happens, if this is connected to the actual live-action MCU. So this could have been, the events of this show could have been the thing that happened right when He Who Remains said some shit's happening. And then that's when he was begging Sylvie to stab him, and then we saw it completely shatter. But what could have started that could have been the events of this. We don't know. Could be the events of Shang-Chi. It could be numerous things. Could have started this chaos streak that we're on.
I'm excited to see. I want to see if they'll ever confirm the events happen at the same time he does that. Because either they've been the one where Agatha drops to the ground, when he drops things, there's so many different things that people have like timed it up, like match the time. I will say though, I don't understand the correlation of Agatha's defeat. I guess they're saying the emergence of her becoming Scarlet Witch. Yeah, the power. Because I'm like, I don't know why they lined it up with when Agatha dropped. She had become Scarlet Witch before Agatha had fell to the ground. So I'm like, I don't understand what the parallel of that is. But her emerging as Scarlet Witch could have been a Nexus level event for sure, 100%. Shang-Chi, we don't know what that beacon was. That beacon could be for Celestials. It could be for anything, really. But that also could have been a moment where it sent the world into a frenzy. You know what I'm saying? Or the multiverse into a frenzy. We don't know.
we don't know. But what we can say is we will find out very shortly.
I can't watch the movie
Next
again.
week's episode, and then the Eternals, and then Spider-Man: No Way Home. So we're gonna consecutively figure some stuff out when it comes to what started this multiverse of madness and how the hell Wanda gets herself engulfed in it. That she needed to be in this movie. That's what my main question is. Because I have to imagine if she just went to strangers, it's like, I'm just looking for my kids. Strangers be like, you know what? I just helped a kid try to get rid of some shit. I'll help you find your kids. We can do that at the same time. No problem. So I have to imagine she has to go beyond that to where she's just like, I don't care about rules. I want my kids. People die in the process. I don't really care. So I imagine she has to go a bit darker to live up to that villainous role I think she'll have to a degree in
Sounds fine.
next movie. I can't wait, Trevon. I'm right with you, man.
Mm-hmm.
But all right. I want to thank Joe, Mr. E, and All in the Game for being in our comment section, keeping the conversation going. Thank you guys so much. I want to thank Prime, Jamie, and Trayvon for joining me on this all-new episode of Marvel Cinematic Review. We all enjoyed this episode. I can safely say we all enjoyed it.
Yes,
We can't wait to see how it ends because we then have a gap. We have a gap before we get to Eternals and Hawkeye and then No Way Home. So we got a little bit of a gap before we start to get a little bit more information on certain things. So it'll be fun because look, I tell you, when WandaVision was the first thing we got this year, right, in January, right? It felt like forever between WandaVision and then when we got to Loki. It felt like forever, but just like that, we were there. So before we know it, we'll blink and we'll be right at Eternals in the Hawkeye series for Jamie to, you know, have a full Uatu moment where she apologizes to Hawkeye. And Hawkeye goes, no, I want all of it. I want all of it, Jamie. All of the apologies. But no. We'll be waiting. We'll be waiting for that for sure. I can't wait for Jamie to be like, you know what? Black Widow who? It's all about Hawkeye. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna have to do something crazy for me to say that.
You know what they're gonna do for you, Jamie? They're gonna bring Black Widow back to life. That's what they're gonna do. And you have to thank Hawkeye for that. See that? See how I played that? You have to thank Clint for that. But all right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you same time, same